boy. Hi, boy. Hi, boy. Hi, boy. Hi, boy.
Hey guys, and we are officially live. So what we're doing tonight is I'm actually just jumping around looking at everybody that's gone live. I believe that the people that were streaming earlier, because there was, mischief afoot, but again, they seem to not want me to stream it anymore. But so we're gonna go ahead and jump into Carolyn Baratsanako's stream. We're gonna crash her stream. I believe what she's doing is she's actually streaming feminists. They're discussing their plans in a mass organized call. So we're just gonna kind of jump in there, and we're gonna bounce around to watch other streams, see what pops off. And apologies for the background noise, but y'all know what time it is. It's time for my little quack quacks to go into their tub time.
And to be brave. Have a good night. See you next time.
Well, that was fast.
Oh, they're out. All right, another successful spy stream. I think that did Stacy say anything else in the chat? Let's just do a quick review of the chat. I think it's important to recognize that men need to actively call out misogyny and patriarchy rather than waiting for women to do the emotional labor of speaking up. Okay. All right, Stacy. I bet Stacy's never gotten laid in her life, honestly. It's really too bad. Stacy's probably like a really fat, ugly cunt that's never gotten laid. It might be public, but a Nazi is currently recording this call and clipping what you say. Stacy, what do you think public on the internet means, Stacy? What do you think public on the internet means? Public means public.
Yep.
It means for everyone.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people understand it. They think that just because you're in a public space and you say,
hey,
I don't want to be recorded,
Stacey,
it means you can't.
What?
Like,
Stacy,
it's not what that means.
If you liked that spy stream, you're gonna fucking love tomorrow's spy stream. And tomorrow's spy stream, just like tonight's spy stream, is going to be a public spy stream. Because tomorrow's spy stream, we are also watching a public presentation that is being publicly streamed on YouTube, and it's going to be awesome. Yohan says Stacy is likely Asian. She's brought up Asian American immigrants twice now in 2 different stream chats. Maybe she is that original Stacy Long we found at the University of San Francisco then. Maybe she is that original. Maybe you were right. Maybe you were right, Melinda. Maybe you were right. Maybe that is the original Stacy Long, a barista at Starbucks. Maybe that is her. Maybe we should just dox that Stacy Long and see what happens. Maybe we should just do that. Maybe we should just do that. Maybe we shouldn't do that too. Honestly, it doesn't really matter.
But
it really
we're gonna
doesn't
go
matter.
ahead and go to a different stream while she goes on her rant. So we're gonna just stick with right now JLR, and he's currently investigating Outwit in regards to the Nancy Griffey story. So we're still kind of following up on that right now. And shout out to anybody who's out here watching me. Much love, much appreciation, guys.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Man, that's like hella dark.
There's no street lights. Homes are all tucked in. Things are fading. You ain't seeing nothing out here. Isn't this crazy? Help me, please.
Help
I
me,
found my
I'm
car.
bored.
I can't even see my car, but I found my car. My car is right here.
Man, that's so dark.
Crazy. Scary. I can't even. Okay, here we go. Light. Let there be light. Alright. Hold on, I'm gonna put this in the rack. Here. We'll go. We're gonna go to Tomaso's. See what's
Timaco.
happening there. Tomaso's.
See where we're headed off to today. It's my little rat.
Alright, I'm just gonna spin around and bust a U here. U-turn.
Straight off to see his face.
Everything is situated here. We good on battery? Yep, we're good on battery. Alright, let's do this, folks.
While we have him there, we're gonna go ahead and look to see what else we can, you know,
Get this
mess
spark
with.
on.
Head toward East Camino El Ganado.
Don't forget there was a house for sale right here by her home.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump into
How creepy it is out here.
this stream instead that we got going on with Hook Global.
State that made the nation. What brings us here today together is the most powerful force the world.
I think he just went off the air. Oh no, he's there.
We swore an oath to this Constitution for all of us many times throughout our life. And when you swear an oath, you don't take that oath as a Democrat or as a Republican. You swear that oath as an American. And that is what we have done. And honoring our oath means doing our jobs and exercising our rights and freedoms under this great Constitution. Today, anyone who swears an oath to the Constitution needs to know that fellow citizens and the United States Congress have their back as they uphold that oath. And the fact that the President of the United States became so unglued by a cornerstone and completely uncontroversial principle of American law, a principle of law that was born of the hard-earned, the unparalleled tragedies of
You
the
could have gave a
Holocaust.
warning, Alex, because you were
A
spitting
principle
while
that
my
has
mic was
always
on.
guided us, a principle that makes us who we are as Americans.
No.
The fact that he became so unglued by it breaks my heart. It is truly sad, and it is downright dangerous. What happened yesterday, federal prosecutors at the direction of the president seeking to indict members of Congress for doing their jobs, for saying what the law says, it should shock the conscience of every freedom-loving American. But it should also focus our attention, because what this is all about is an effort to distract the American people, and that will not work. It is an effort to intimidate and to silence.
Your case. Chairman
and
raised
that
at the
will not
beginning
work
of this year.
either. Because we love this country, we love this Constitution, we swore an oath to it, and we will uphold that oath for every day that we are honored to serve this country.
With the legal issues surrounding these jurisdictions. So let's say we have someone who's here illegally, who has committed a crime that, like the thousands of people you mentioned in California, murderers, sexual predators, drug traffickers.
Now,
If that
this is from
individual
earlier.
is
I know I
in
was watching
detention
this
in a
live.
jurisdiction
It's
that has a
crazy.
sanctuary policy, where they do not honor ICE detainers, versus in any other jurisdiction where they do.
Like, I think
How
the
does
only
the
time
nature
I wish
of
Camp Bondi would be like this, like
apprehending
all
that
the
person,
time.
how does the
But this is the
nature
only
of
time where
ICE's
she's
involvement
been
in
based.
that operation differ in those two circumstances?
Well, I believe you've seen that in Minnesota, where people were not cooperating with us. I believe there a lot of local law enforcement did want to cooperate, but we are doing everything in our power to arrest and deport illegal criminal aliens, and that is not going to stop under Donald Trump's administration. You know, why sanctuary cities are so dangerous, what we've seen in Minneapolis. Where do all the criminals go? The gangs, TDA, MS-13. Where are they going to go? They're going to go to a sanctuary jurisdiction
Yep.
because they believe they're protected, and that's not fair to the citizens of those cities.
Yeah, and this is a point that there at least used to be a lot of consensus on. The idea that, you know, it's better to do a handoff to the immigration authorities in a custodial setting rather than releasing them where they have to be apprehended in the community. This is Alejandro Mayorkas when he was before this committee, not exactly a paragon of border security, but he said, "I do not consider it in the service of public safety to release an individual into the community when that individual can be released to Immigration and Customs Enforcement for prompt removal." Now, his words are one thing, his actions are another. But when you have jurisdictions across the country, including my state of California, doing systematically precisely the thing that even Alejandro Mayorkas said threatens public safety,
Now,
I mean, what does that
as
say?
always, guys, as I say,
It's
if
a danger to the
you
citizens
want me
of
to
your
pull something
community.
up
Thank you
that's
for fighting
going
to protect
on,
them.
like whether it's breaking news
Absolutely,
or
and you know, we're having this
something
conversation right now in
happening
relation to
live,
Homeland
like, for
Security funding.
example,
And I
when
believe
they
there are
start
some common
protesting and
sense
rioting,
reforms that
let
have
me
been
know
proposed
in the
that folks
chat,
on both sides
and I'll go ahead
would agree
and
make
pull it up for
sense,
you
but
guys.
those reforms have to go hand in hand with reforming this reckless practice of refusing to cooperate, refusing to honor detainers, and declaring oneself to be a sanctuary. So I'm hoping that we can find bipartisan support for what has long been a bipartisan principle. I want to go to a second topic, which is the school board memo, which I know that you have rescinded, and it was initially promulgated by Attorney General Garland when he came into office with President Biden, essentially opening an investigation into parents who were showing up at school board meetings and expressing their views on COVID policies, masks, various other issues, and using the full apparatus of federal law enforcement and counterterrorism to go after these parents. Now, he said this was because there was an increase of threats, but when even his own FBI director, Christopher Wray, was before this committee, he said there was no evidence of an increase in threats. Yet, nevertheless, when I asked him if he regretted the memo, Attorney General Garland said there was absolutely nothing wrong with the memo. Now, I take it you disagree with that, having now rescinded it?
Absolutely. That was one of the main focuses of President Trump and this administration. We will protect parents at school boards. We will protect children in schools. We will protect parents' rights for their children's education in our school system in this country. We will protect Christians. We will protect everyone who wants to freely protest. If Christians want to protest in front of an abortion clinic without being arrested, they will do so.
Thank you very much. And finally, I thank you for your efforts to step up the detection and rooting out of fraud. My home state is California. Any idea if there might be any fraud going on in California?
Well, we are establishing, as you have heard, a fraud unit, and I'm sorry you're having to deal with that in your state, but the cavalry's coming. And we have Colin McDonald, who is hopefully will be confirmed soon. We're working on Minneapolis. I don't know if you were sitting here when I said that, but California was right up there. I'm sorry to say for both sides of the aisle that California is right up there with fraud. It's out of control, but we are.
They deserve. I want to briefly direct your attention to two documents I'm hoping we will put up on the screen. In the first, an individual emails Jeffrey Epstein asking whether a woman identified as M was pro or civilian, and Epstein responds that she was a civilian, Russian, and fun. In the second email, Epstein writes to Steve Tisch.
So it looks like we have JLR investigating. So he's just driving around right now.
And then down here will be the Circle K and make a right.
97 and Rescue 7, Altered LLC, 2695.
But law enforcement has been reported by Fox News that law enforcement were going to locations, businesses here on this strip here, in this general area, asking them about surveillance from 9:30 p.m. Saturday night, January 31st into 11:30 a.m. February 1st. Businesses around here, they were seeking surveillance. I know for a fact here on the left, the Chevron station, feds went there. They told me. Now, I haven't went from business to business to business to ask who asked for what, because we've been streaming. But when I first got here, I kind of sleuthed around, and definitely we heard from the Circle K down the road here, and then I got the Chevron, but I didn't really go to any other businesses except a Bitcoin drop-off at the CVS on the other direction, but I haven't really went that route. But the media pretty much has reported that they were all in this area looking for surveillance. What does that tell you? Why you're around here?
Crazy.
We're going to Tomas's home. We're going to see what's up. Oh, there right now. I don't see anything breaking, and we're kind of just waiting for anything to break, too. Hopefully we can get that break in the case.
While he's waiting for the break in the case, we're going to go ahead and watch like a video from earlier. This is from Freedom News TV, Target protest East Lake, Minnesota. This was happening earlier today, so we'll go ahead and jump into this video while we wait. Because y'all know how much I love watching all these protests. It'd be funny watching people get their comeuppance real quick, you know? Like, I'm surprised there's no protests going on right now, which is crazy because you would think there would be, but apparently there's nothing going on. So it's like, wouldn't you know it? When I finally go live,
did
there's
Target call the
zero
police,
protests.
or did you respond, or how did that work out?
No, we're just here for everyone's safety.
No, I mean, who called? You just arrived?
Yeah, we know these things are happening, so we just come to help.
You arrived preemptively to protect Target?
We would do it.
I'm not going to check to see if we have anything.
Did you do for any of the Somali businesses that were being regularly attacked?
Just so we can see, what's going on.
No, okay.
I just can't do it. Our policy does not allow us to.
Well, no, I'm asking you a direct question about.
We're just not allowed to
answer questions.
You want to chat off camera or something? I'd love to chat with you, but.
I mean,
food that's on your
surprised. I know Tommy Boy was having some stuff. I know they were traveling like to California and stuff like that, so I don't know. We'll wait and see if anything happens. It's been pretty quiet, which is crazy. Like I'm always saying everybody, oh man, the weekend like stuff pops up and then it starts switching to during the week and then it was just Friday. It's like, man, it's just good bananas.
until this gone. We will keep on showing up until this cruelty is gone. In the end, love will prevail. We the people stand together. We the people stand together. We the people stand together.
Now, if you guys have anything you guys want to look up at, like, TikToks, lives that are popping off, definitely let me know in the chat. You can check it out. So right now I'm just checking to see if I can more recap on this Minnesota protest that was popping off earlier today in case you guys missed it.
In the end, love will prevail. We the people stand together.
Well, at least there's doing songs, you know, like, it was like weird when they were just doing weird random things. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed this, there was like video going around where they were using adult toys and putting it on ISIS cars and mommy's cars, and it's just weird. Like, why? Like, what is the point of that? Like, I don't get it.
Behind all this brutality, we'll face the rule of law. In the end, love will prevail. We the people stand together. We the people stand together. We the people
So,
stand
let me know if my
together.
voice sounds okay, guys. You know, if I sound too soft, let me know. I'll start trying to, like, yell at the mic. Not like, you know, the way Eminem was saying about MGK. Are you always yelling at the mic?
Sisterhood and brotherhood from sea to shining
But if that sounds good,
with sisterhood and brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
so with stuff going on, you know, guys, I'm trying really hard to make sure that I can upgrade my stuff little by little, guys. And I'm doing it for myself.
We the people stand together.
I feel like the way it is with what's his name? Jim Carrey, when he was a Grinch, he's like, but that's what these tests are for. Like, that's why we do what we do, right?
For the land of the free and the home of the brave. For the land of the free and the home of
But yeah, what I was saying about like what they're doing, at least it sounds like normal, like I guess 1970s maybe, like protests that they were doing back in the day, like during the whole flower power kind of deal, you know? So it definitely, you know, a lot better than what the normal raunchy and rowdy protests are.
All the saints are walking with us, Dr.
I'm also amazed that they're still talking about the AI virus. Like, I thought that thing passed by already and it wasn't no longer a thing, but I guess it's making a comeback now to talk about it. It's like so much stuff going on, it's just getting like insane to know what direction we're being pulled in, you know? We're getting pulled to the left, to the right, up, down. It's like there's so many different things that we can talk about or touch on. But yeah, it's been pretty quiet. I'm gonna check to see if there's any breaking news. Because I know yesterday we had some stuff where they had a person in custody, but then it turned into a nothing burger with her. So who knows, you know? Now there's a couple stories that are popping off, like we have where the House already voted on the SAVE Act, so hopefully that goes through. I'm hoping it goes through without any like attachments to it or like any shenanigans from the left, and hopefully it makes it to Trump's desk where we can just kind of pass that where it's only citizens allowed to vote in our elections, and where they are going to have it where they clean up the voter rolls so we don't have to deal with that mess anymore. But I'm pretty sure the left will find a way to cheat regardless, you know? I know we also have this other story that's coming out And this one is about the suspect that was doing the shooting in Canada. So we have that situation going off. Um, it ended up being, it's so funny with this story because they don't directly say, that it's a trans person. They basically say, oh, a female in a dress. And it's like, what an odd way to like word that, because it's like, duh, women wear dresses. But I guess nowadays anybody can wear a dress. I mean, okay, but it's just the wording that they choose to use. And so they never outright say that's what the person is, but then it comes out that that's what it is that it's a trans person that did this. Um, but yeah, this situation was getting crazy in regards to the mass shooting. They're still investigating it, obviously. As of right now, this is what the story is stating. It's talking about the police identified the suspect as an 18-year-old female as suspected, which is funny because, of course, CNN would say that instead of saying the actual gender of the person. They have shot and killed at least 8 and wounded a dozen today at a home. I believe when I did my recording earlier today, they were talking about that it was actually 9 people, and then that the person actually, murked themselves. So, yeah, I don't know about this story with CNN. It just seems like redundant at this point. And then we have the thing with Nancy Guthrie still going on. Definitely, this case is just a hot mess right now because you have so many situations where so many people went up in there and they, like, because they didn't seal off the crime scene like the way they should have, now the crime scene is tainted. And so they can't really go off of what's going on there now because so many people walk through it. So you don't know if the fingerprints, footprints, DNA that you have in there are like legit suspect or if it's actually, just people walking through, because of that. So you have that situation going on. This situation, they had a person of interest that they had brought in, then they let him go. Then you had the thing with the pizza guy. I mean, this is just all over the place, and I feel bad for this person. So we have this situation, we have the video footage of the person that went up to the door and the rig cam footage where they were looking and they were talking about like they found black gloves and I don't know. It is just a hot mess for this one. But the Guthrie case doesn't seem to be following any form of script. If you're going to be abducted somebody for cash, why wouldn't you aggressively try to get the cash in by communicating with the family right away? So they have that situation. I believe they put a $50,000 reward out there for the FBI. So we're going to kind of see where this case is going. But like I said, as of right now, there's not much to it. We do have JLR investigates on the scene. He's actually checking that out right now, trying to see what's going on with that. So he's following up. We can jump back at his stream and see what he's seeing right now and if he has any updates. I know that he's been there like a while trying to get this to break.
This is a car
coming
around at night. This is a car coming around at night.
So random vehicle, I guess.
Can't even see nothing. Can't see no plate.
Nope, it's like pitch black. That's
the kind of car
what happens when you're like in the middle of nowhere. It's dark.
Ain't no Ring camera catching anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know about the newer Ring cameras, but I definitely know
fact,
for
FBI was at the neighbor's house across the street, and the other neighbors. We filmed it yesterday. 100% fact.
Now for the new Ring cams, I don't know how good they are. I know for the old ones, they're not very good for night cam. The one that I knew worked pretty good was the Nest cams. You
back
guys let me know your thoughts in the comment below, like which cameras you think work
your
really
house.
good. I know there's different ones out there, but I know for Google, theirs is really good. Like you could see pretty far with theirs. And you know what a lot of people don't tell you too? It's also about your internet. So if you have like crappy internet service, your cameras are not going to work as good. You know, versus if you have really high-end, high-speed internet, you're gonna definitely get a better like stream from it. It's gonna be less pixelated, so that also makes a big difference. One thing I do like about the Google Cam, like the Nest cams, is that even if your internet drops out or your power goes out because you have battery backup, it'll continue to record, and then once it gets back online, it will update itself where it will move everything, I guess, to the cloud. So that's really good. But if you have like the Ring Cam, and again, I don't know if the service has changed or not, but the last time I remember it, like if your internet went out, that's it. Your stream's gone. You don't get nothing recorded. You know, if the power goes out and you don't get nothing recorded. So yeah, that blows. So that's NBC News, he said.
All right, folks. With that being said, I'm going to sign off for the night. If something else breaks, you will definitely hear it here on JLR Investigates. Boots on the ground outside Annie and Tommaso's home. We will go to any key location centered around this case. Wherever the FBI goes, we go. Wherever Pima County Sheriffs go, we go. Wherever any law enforcement goes, we go. Wherever there's a situation, we go. We will continue to follow this every twist and turn in the case of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. She's out there somewhere. What happened?
That's
Who's
crazy.
involved? What in the world is going on here, people? If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button.
There's only 9 deceased
Boots on the
persons
ground,
instead of
latest.
10. We
Gloves
want to
being
get information
found,
out as quick as
searches
possible.
all over the
but we
place, neighbors being asked questions. We will stay with this story. So I'm going to sign off, get a little rest. Got the phone on standby. If there's any arrests, any searches at locations, I'll pop back up and go live with the tripod. All right, we cover boots on the ground, true crime 24/7, 365 on JLR Investigates. Thank you, everyone who contributed. The JLR Army strong. Justice for Nancy. We'll continue to bring.
So he's gonna be signing off. So
I can say that the
we're
suspect
definitely
was
gonna
not
keep an
related to
idea
any of the
on what's
victims,
going on. So
of
right
the
now,
school.
this
I
is
don't have any
in
broader
regards to
information
what's going
beyond
on in
that, other than
Canada.
to say that the suspect was related to the 2 victims at the private residence.
Did the suspect leave a note or any other communication in advance of this happening?
Not that we've located so far, but we are continuing to pursue that lead.
Sir, are you able to give us sort of what the police's working theory is on why this happened?
Well, we don't have an idea yet as to motive. And again, recognizing we're still less than 24 hours into this incident, it is something that we are certainly passionately pursuing. But it would be too early to speculate on motive at this time.
Was there a bolt put out to be on the lookout for prior to the shootings regarding the suspect?
Not that I'm aware of, but once the shootings commenced, we did issue the public police alert.
And did police open fire on the suspect?
Police did not return fire, to the best of my knowledge, but went into the school.
Where in the school were the victims killed?
There was one victim that was located deceased in the hallway, in the stairwell of the school, and the others were located, I believe, in the library of the school.
Can you comment on the home of the shooter and what the life was like in the rain? Sometimes when there's some sort of abuse from levels, do you see for victims like that here?
I can't comment yet on the nature or the environment of the family home. It was locked down originally to secure a search warrant in order to allow our investigators to go in. So I can't comment at this point in time. I do have that information. It will be locked down, so I would respectfully ask members of the media and the public not to attend the scene of the family home because we have a lot going on there, but it's 112 Fellers Avenue in Tumbler Ridge. I don't have that information at this point in time. I can say that historically there were firearms that were secured at that residence in a safe, but I haven't updated with the investigators yet to determine if they've gone in and located more firearms. Yes, no, they were called after. So we understand the sequence of events, and I'll get to this. So we did not receive a call to attend the home until approximately 2:47 p.m. or 1:47 p.m. Pacific time. We were called because a neighbor, there was a young female at that home that went to the neighbors, and that's how we learned that there were two deceased at that residence. So the neighbor called the police. We know the sequence of events now is that the incident at the home occurred first, where we have the two deceased family members, and from there our suspect attended the school and commenced their criminal activity there.
What was the relationship of the child who was the neighbor to the victim's
Family member.
Is the reunification process been completed for the injured and evacuees?
For the students, and so most of the what I would call injured individuals are people that were assessed for injury were released right in Tumbler Ridge shortly after receiving triage and or treatment. Those that have been medevaced, I can't speak to that, but I won't speculate on whether they've been in contact with their family. We're still dealing with
in French as well, sir.
Let's see what's going on over here. We have Mr. Poole.
Of shift overlap because you can't have gaps in your security. Now imagine you've got a multi-building, media company with several shows, and you need 4 or 5 people per day, 24 hours for maximum security after someone shot at your property. It's
just
nuts.
so you guys know,
That's why we went to Florida and we were trying to work something out and figure out if there was a way to do a bigger deal with Rumble and do something.
One of the things that I didn't agree with him on was when it came to seditious sex,
and we're still navigating this, but full disclosure, full transparency.
That did say when Trump said that
and right now
they could get
we
the death
actually
penalty. I mean, it was true.
Let me just say
but
we
it
have
was only for
maximum
the
security,
people that were
and
military, so not civilian that would get hit
so
with that.
TimCast.com supports the work that we do
matters,
by joining the Discord community and making sure it's possible. All right, let's grab some Rumble rants and chats. We got Perceptual Jonathan. He says, Poso couldn't even get Creed? What's the point of a halftime show? Great job putting the show together, Jack. Well, we did go over it. Next year.
No, I mean, it's when we announced, I didn't even look at tour dates and things like that. And wait, I have to follow the law? There's like legal stuff I got to deal with? We need lawyers.
So we do have this. This just dropped like 2 hours ago. This says that the House passes the SAVE Act, Trump-backed bill to impose new voting rules. The bill requires proof of citizenship and would limit mail-in voting. Passes 218 to 213, but faces an uphill battle in the Senate. So again, it passed the House yet again. And we're still waiting for John Thune and everybody to kind of get off their butts and pass this bill. It sucks because they're not trying to pass it because Dems don't want it to be passed because they want to continue to be able to cheat. And that's just a plain and simple truth. Now, it's ridiculous. Like, the excuses these people are making to not pass this is beyond ridiculous. Because they're saying stuff like, well, black people and Hispanics, they can't get IDs. They don't know how. They don't know how to use the computer. They don't know how to get directions. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? Like, that's the first thing you learn is how to do all that. And not to mention, everybody has internet access now. It's not like we're back in the 1980s where, you were limited to what you had available to you. You know, like back then it was like you had to have like shmoney to have internet. Nowadays, you don't need that. Like you could literally, like all these people that are on EBT or SNAP, they can get internet for free, and depending on the city or county or wherever you are from, but they can get internet either free or discounted. They get free government phones, which also has internet on it. There is ways for them to access that information. Most, like I believe it's Apple and Samsung, through their wallets, you have now the capability where you can have a digital state ID. So it's like, it's not hard. And I know myself personally, when I moved from one location to another, from different states, all I did was ask the people that are around me, like, where do I go get my ID? And if they don't know, I Googled it. And bam, I knew where to go. I knew what I needed to bring with me. It was not hard at all. Like, I don't understand why people think we're too stupid to understand. Now they're trying to argue that if you're a woman or you're married, it's going to be really hard for you to get an ID. It's like, are you serious? Now it's if you're a woman or married? Like, are you kidding me? Like, first of all, when you get married, you have to change all your information. So the first thing you have to do is go to not only Social Security, but you got to go to DMV. You got to update all this information, bring all these documents with you to update your information. It's not that hard. Everybody knows this. Like, geez, I can't believe that they really think we're that stupid. But yeah, so this is the legislation. I personally feel like we need to flood John Thune's phone line, his email, his social media, like his office, everything. We need to just go in there and flood it and be like, demand, like literally demand them to pass this and nuke the filibuster. That's what I think. I think we just need to go ahead and just go ham on it and make it happen, because it's never going to happen. And then what's going to end up happening, because if you look at all the races that are going on right now, and we haven't hit the midterms just yet, but we have all these races that are going off right now with mayors, governors, yada, yada, right? And these people, the Dems are winning them left and right because the right is not showing up for nothing. For literally no reason, they're not showing up to vote, which sucks. Because that's how you lose the Senate. That's how we're going to lose the House. And what's going to end up happening is that we're going to have a lot of impeachments. We're going to have Donald Trump being impeached left and right. We're going to have Pam Bondi, Hegseth, Marco Rubio. Like, his whole administration is going to be left and right being impeached. And, you know, the Dems flat out said it, that they are going to go ahead and make a list, a database of everybody that follows Trump, that's MAGA, that's right-leaning, that shared, liked, or commented in a positive way about ICE, about Trump, and they're going to put your name in a database, and they're going to, you know, come get you to hold you accountable. So it's like, yeah, that's going to suck for all those people that are doing that, because they're going to literally treat, like, the left is going to literally treat us like Nazis at that point. Like, it's just so ridiculous at this point. And we ain't going to be able to do anything, you know? Like, Trump is going to end up with, what, like 2 years or 2.5 years of nothing because of this. So we really need to go out there and we need to represent like we did, like our lives depend on it. But yeah, this is what we have going on. Let me see if I can find anything else that we can like talk about and see. Because again, it's a pretty quiet night, and I think it's getting crazy how nothing is happening. Nothing is popping off today. I would think stuff would be happening, but apparently it's just so quiet. And it's funny to me because I decided to go live, and then, you know, every time I would watch like YouTube and I would watch the lives, I would always see all these protests and all these shenanigans going on. And now it's like freaking silence. It's like, what the hell? You can hear like a pin drop. It's like crazy.
And our U.S. attorneys all.
Like, nothing is happening. All of a sudden, everybody decided that they want to hibernate. Like, it's just insane to me. But we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find anything we can get mischief into, because y'all know I like mischief. usually around 9 o'clock. Usually you'll start seeing other people go live, like Tommy Boy, people that are usually on the ground. I don't think he's going to be officially on the ground just yet, but we shall see, shall we? Um, yeah, because right now we only have what's going on about Canada shooting, so we can kind of go into that story. I know they're questioning about the Nancy Guthrie case. We'll just go ahead and plop that here and see what's up with that.
Software that was there, but I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm just not in the weeds. I know that. Think of your doorbell cameras. Somebody walks up. My wife's. If I walk up, she gets an alert, and it's usually something like that. A person's detected.
To understand your quote, one, does that mean that it was about a 45-minute span that the suspect or suspects would have been on the property? And then also, does it potentially mean that you cooperated with the tech company so you can officially say that no surveillance data is available?
We know that the tech company that we sent that camera off to, yes, they've said they've run out of ways to recover any video.
Next person's going to be ABC News, Aaron.
I'm sorry, was what 45 minutes?
Can we say it's about a 45-minute span that somebody would have been on the property then, 1:47 to 2:28?
Yeah, I think those times speak for themselves, and it is about, like I say, those are approximates, so yes. I'm sorry, who was next? Did you say? You know, this is no different than any criminal investigation that we conduct here. Law enforcement has conducted investigations since 1865 here in the county. We're always mindful of what it is that's in front of us and what we should release and can release. There's legal guidelines that guide us, but there's also strategy too. So, you know, I'll leave that for you to determine.
Now that you are having such an injection of manpower from the FEMA critical incident team and the FBI, were you slow to bring that in at the outset? Should all of these resources have been brought to bear sooner?
I guess that you know, it's Monday morning quarterbacking. I do it all the time, so you have the opportunity to do it for me. I'll take that hit.
CBS News, Jonathan Liliani.
Sheriff, over here. Has there been any proof of life, and has there been any signs of life?
I'm going to anything to deal with the ransom notes and that I would defer to the FBI, but no, to my knowledge, we're still looking for Nancy.
And for my follow-up question, if I can speak with the special agent, what was it about this apparent ransom note that now 3 days on you first haven't been able to validate, and second, it warranted informing the Guthries of his existence?
So the ransom note that was sent out there, obviously every lead in this case we are taking extremely serious.
But not
Given
everyone is presented to the family. Why is that?
Because this was the ransom that came in and it had facts associated with a deadline, with a monetary value they were asking for.
And
so at that point,
what were some of those facts that you have? Because there's been a lot of speculation, as you know, within the registry.
Yeah, the ransom itself, one talked about an Apple Watch and one talked about a floodlight. We're not going to go into specifics. It's very important
Jeez, this is too big. I'm trying to make it so that we can
moving
see
forward,
it.
and we don't want to put more facts out there that others then can use to try to profit from this.
CNN, CNN, next, Ed Lavandera.
Hey, Agent, I want to follow up with you real quick on that. There have been, as far as we know, I think 3 ransom notes so far, 1 arrest. Are they all different? These are different authors on all of them, or?
So the one that went to the media is the one we are currently investigating and working on. The imposter that I talked about, where an arrest was made early this morning, that there will be more information. We believe there's no evidence to connect this to Nancy's case. It was someone that was trying to profit from it, a total imposter.
And Sheriff, you started off the press conference by saying you believe that Nancy is still out there. Do you
I'm certainly fearful of that. I think we all are. But we operate from a position that until we know she's out there, she's alive, and we're going to continue thinking that way until we find her.
Fox Digital, Mike.
Yeah, sir. Mike Orlowitz from Fox Digital. Sheriff, you said you've identified no suspect. Have you ruled out anyone she was with on Saturday night?
You know, we've talked to so many. I'm sure that my investigators have feelings about this one's clear or this one isn't, but no, I wouldn't say anybody's ruled out yet, because what if I rule you out and then later I learn something else? No.
So my follow-up, you mentioned that you don't know where the reporting of a fourth entry came from. Do we know how whoever did this got into her house?
That I.
So we have this going on with Mike Johnson. So let's go ahead and look at what he's up to. So Mike Johnson over here says, this is from Nick Sorter. Speaker Johnson says personally met with John Thune to make sure the Save American Act makes it to the floor of the Senate and that the zombie filibuster be nuked. So this is what supposedly they're saying, but honestly, it has not happened. And I don't think personally it's going to happen. I think that they're just basically all talk at this point. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, I don't think that's going to go anywhere, to be honest. Like, I wish it would, but I feel like they're just going to continue to do what they do and not do anything. But we can hear what nonsense this guy is going to have saying.
So it's a bipartisan bill. It's going to the Senate, and I think Leader Thune is committed. I mean, I know he is to getting this to the floor. But we want to get it not just to the floor, but to the president's desk. We need to get this signed into law. It's really important for all the reasons stated here. We have a custom between us. He doesn't tell me how to run the House. I don't tell him how to run the Senate. But I trust that he is committed to it, and they're trying to figure that out, figure out the right path. And I think the talking filibuster is part of that discussion, and we'll see how it shakes out. So I would hope that there'd be some sensible Democrats there that would recognize, as one did here tonight, that this is a good policy and a good thing, and it's right. It shouldn't be a partisan issue. I stay in close contact with Leader Thune, and we met yesterday, actually, and talked about this. I told him that it would be coming over. We were certain to pass it, and we would send.
We already knew that the House was going to pass it because that's basically what they did. And the Senate just keeps doing stupid things where they don't do anything. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Right now we're just scrolling through X just to see the shenanigans that are going on here.
Mother always told me, be careful who you love, and be careful.
So this is saying like, you don't say that even as a joke. Michael Jackson a cappella, Bad Bunny as a cappella. So let's see what this shenanigans is.
What to do? After the lie become the truth. Hey, the Billie Jean's not my love.
Muchas novias, tengo una, mañana otra. Pero no hay boda, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Ey. Muchas novias, tengo a una, mañana otra. Ey, me la voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP. Ey, saludan a Titi.
Mother always told me,
It's like they were saying, like, if you take his auto tune off, it's just terrible. Terrible. Oh, Jasmine Crockett. She's another crazy.
Numerous others, like how the DOJ is attempting to obstruct justice in the investigation of the rogue agents who have murdered American citizens, or how the DOJ seized voter data from Fulton County in an attempt to steal the 2026 midterm elections, or how federal agents have Tom Homan on tape accepting a bribe and your agency killed the investigation, or how your agency is ready to give the president a $230 million payday, which is unconstitutional. The Constitution is clear. The president shall not receive any payment except his salary while in office. The fact of the matter is that you will be remembered as one of the worst attorney generals in history. An attorney general who has prioritized obstruction over justice, corruption over the law, fealty to the president over loyalty to the Constitution. And Mr. Chairman, I will yield.
Gentlelady yields. Gentleman from Missouri is recognized. Excuse me, gentleman from Kansas, the Attorney General, former Attorney General, Mr. Schmidt is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and General Bondi, thanks for being here. Did you have anything you wanted to say before we talk?
I do. Thank you, Congressman. Thank you, my friend, for many years. I find it interesting that she didn't even want to try, Congresswoman Crockett, to ask any questions because she certainly did not condemn her leader, Hakeem Jeffries, for taking money from Jeffrey Epstein after Epstein was convicted. And I will be brief to give you your time, Congressman. This is what she didn't want to talk about. Texas, from Cuba, convicted, homicide, arson, weapon offense.
Convicted. So what we talking about? Convict some of these perpetrators that rape these women that are sitting behind you that you refuse to even acknowledge they are here.
Time belongs to the gentleman from Kansas.
Mr. Chairman, could I have a few seconds back to make up for the yelling? Thank you. General, did you have anything further to say?
Texas, convicted of homicide. Cecil Joseph from Dominican Republic. Texas, convicted for kidnapping, rape. Khalid Khan from Afghanistan. That's why they want to talk about Epstein and not what's happening in their own state.
Facts.
Thank you, General, and thank you for being here. And this is.
It's so funny because she did walk off. You could see her in the background just walking off because these people don't want to hear it. They're just grandstanding just to do it. You know, first they want to talk all their ish and saying like, oh, the Epstein files, Trump won't release it, Trump won't release it. But y'all had the White House, y'all had the, like Congress, the Senate, y'all sat on this. Nobody released it during Obama's time, during Biden's time. None of these people released it. But then they want to come at Trump because he released it, but slowly. And then they're like, well, we don't like the way you released it. And it's like, but at least he did something. Y'all over here just like gaslighting everybody by saying like, oh, you didn't do that. Oh, Trump's name is in it. But everything in there that comes to Trump basically exonerates him. So it's like, what do you mean? There's even a spot in there that they had like an audio recording of Trump like narking on Epstein. It's like you can't make this ish up. It is so funny to watch these people scramble trying to like pull nothing out of the air and be like, oh yeah, he's guilty of this or that, or look over here, you know. And like when they were trying to say, there was a teacher on X that was trying to say like, oh well, he's in the list, and there was this person that was accusing him of like rape and that she bit his you know what, and you know, go check for scars. But then if she would have continued reading, it said that they weren't able to prove her statements, that there was nothing found there. There was no there. So that whole situation was pointless, like, because it wasn't even factual. So you have these people literally telling you stuff that are just allegations with no proof to them. But as long as the name's there, they're going to say, oh, Trump did this. But you have people like Hakeem Jeffries. You have like the Clintons in there, you know, or like Jay-Z, I think, was in there. But they're silent, you know? It's like, wow, that's just crazy. Let's see what else we got here going on X. Like, X has been, I don't know, X has been popping off lately. Like, so many crazy things have been coming out on X. Like, I don't even know where to begin. That's also funny. I was watching these vids where they were talking to people about, you know, being, you know, why are they waving Mexican flags and stuff? And then they're like, well, why, if it's such a great country, why aren't you living there? Like, you know, it's hilarious. So let's go ahead and watch this. Let's see what this is all about. I've been on this kick about Bad Bunny because it's just funny to me. And you would think because of this melanin that I would be on his side, but I'm not. You know, like, I think he's an okay singer. He's not like one of my favorite reggaeton artists. I have to say, hands down, Daddy Yankee is the GOAT. He'll always be the GOAT. And honestly, even Daddy Yankee was in an interview saying, when they were like, oh, are you going to go and play with Bad Bunny if he asks you to come to the halftime show or on stage in a concert? He's like, nope. He's like, maybe when he finds God, I will, but not right now. He's like, nope. So you have someone like Daddy Yankee turning him down. Like, it should tell you the level of depravity this man has, where he doesn't even have the goat wanting to come with him. And Daddy Yankee's done collabs with English speakers, just like you had J Balvin, who did collabs with not only like reggaeton artists, but he's done it with like Ed Sheeran. He did it with a K-pop artist. He did it with, I think, what's that? Chris Brown. Like, this man does, different songs with different people. They could have had someone like that. Or they could have gotten like Justin Bieber, Daddy Yankee, and Prince Royce, and they could have did Despacito. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that song. Like, I feel like they should have did collab instead of focusing on one. Now I get it. They're probably like, what the rumors that's been going around is that they were trying to get this man to, because he's an international star, that they're trying to get more funding in for American football, but it's American football. I mean, they don't play this anywhere else, I'm assuming. That's why it's called American pastime. So I feel like they missed the plot on this one by having someone like him on there. I think if they would have did like a collab better than what they had, because I know they had Ricky Martin there and they had Lady Gaga, that was like no there for that one either. Because they're so irrelevant. Like, they just needed to do way better. Like, the one that always stands out to me is the one with Justin Bieber and Britney Spears when they did it with Aerosmith. I thought that was an awesome, halftime show. And then you have the other controversy that's going on where the FCC is coming in and they're trying to hit them with a $10 million fine because of the language that was being used in Bad Bunny songs. Now, I didn't know, okay, because a lot of people think just because you're Latin that we all speak the same language. We don't. We have different dialects. So for a lot of his music, I have to go and ask my dude because my dude is Puerto Rican. So I would be like, hey, what's this person saying? And even him, because he's born here in America and not Puerto Rico, he has to ask his mom to kind of translate. And so the song that this guy played, oh my God, I can't believe how dirty it was. Like, I started blushing when I read the words, and I can't imagine like having young children listen to that song and sing along if it's catchy, saying those words. Like, that's just, no, that's just wrong. And just because it's in a different language doesn't mean that it's okay to say it. Like, I feel like they should get hit with fines, both Bad Bunny and the NFL. But let's play this. Two things that have the exact same vibes. Okay, that was good. That was really good. That's freaking hilarious. I like that. This is the one thing I gotta give it to the right. They are the best at memeing. Like, that was funny. You know what? That one deserves a repost. But yeah, these people are, I don't know, hilarious. But this has been getting nuts more and more. Whoa. That chick just, wow. Let's see what this one is. I don't even know what this is. The sad part is that, because your girl is Latin, but I'm American. That I literally always put down that I'm American because I was born in America, not Mexico. But I never grew up traditional Latin. So like my family raised me on like rock and roll. So we always heard like Led Zeppelin, The Doors, Black Sabbath. We listened to like rock music, Styx, Chicago, Tool. Like, it was all like hardcore rock music that we grew up on. And so we didn't celebrate traditional things either. Like we didn't celebrate like Cinco de Mayo. I don't know even the Latin holidays. That's the only one I know because everybody always talks about it. But we didn't celebrate stuff like that. We celebrated all the American holidays. And so, you know, when I became a parent, I did the same thing. I raised my kids on American values because that's what I knew and that's what I grew up with. So my kids, we didn't learn Spanish and they didn't learn Spanish. Like when they went to school, they had the option if they wanted to learn Spanish, but you know, they were more open to learning like German, French, you know, different like Korean, Japanese. They rather learned other languages. And we didn't, again, celebrate any Latin holidays. We just celebrated American holidays. And the music I grew up with, they grew up with. So they grew up with all the old school rock and roll music. They grew up with pop, rap, you know, like all these American English speaking songs. And because I'm from Chicago, I'm from the Chi, so they grew up with freestyle and house music. So they didn't have the traditional stuff. I didn't think I started listening to Latin music until maybe like my 30s. See, if I say my age, y'all gonna be like, oh my God, because y'all gonna see my age slip at that point. But yeah, I didn't start listening to that type of music till I got older. Um, so yeah, that's crazy. But I want to see what else is popping off because, you know, it's been kind of boring day. Like nothing's happening, and I really wish there was more stuff going on. It's been pretty quiet. It's like all of a sudden, all these protests just died down. Like they just went
Is
out
it
of
anything
nowhere.
super big?
Huh?
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Nothing more than like a two-passenger plane, you know, one propeller, single-engine plane. So nothing crazy on that end in terms of the size of the plane, but we do know that, you know, it went down around 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and Jimmy, our understanding too is FAA will be leading this investigation. Obviously, not sure.
All right. So let's stay on topic, I guess. Let's see. Flight radars, a chopper flying. What chopper is this? It's still up in the air. Oh, south.
Yeah, pretty much. And now you guys hear my tub draining. That's because, you know, my little quacks are going down. It's time for them to go back Betty bye because they have their tub time because it's way cold outside for them. So it looks like most people, they just kind of watch random videos. I mean, we can watch random videos. If you guys want to watch something specific, let me know. I don't mind. But it seems like a super slow day. This one was crazy.
All right, you're watching live now. I'm Austin Westfall. Confusion remains after the Federal Aviation Administration abruptly announced a 10-day closure of airspace over El Paso, Texas, for a, quote, special security reason, only to reopen the skies fewer than 8 hours later. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy saying the closure was due to an incursion of drug cartel drones from Mexico. The order would have halted flights for 10 days to and from El Paso's International Airport. Instead, the FAA assured the public this morning that there is no threat to commercial aviation. Politico aviation reporter Oriana Pollock is here. This has a lot more to it. We've been hearing the reports coming out since this all happened earlier this morning. What is your reporting bringing you about what exactly caused all this to happen?
I think we're still seeing as most Americans woke up today, they saw a dizzying spell of news of what exactly was happening over the skies of El Paso. And I think that there are more questions than answers at this moment. I know that officials are still seeking some of those answers, but what we do know is that the FAA promptly closed the airspace, and it was for a very excessive amount of time, for 10 days, which is pretty much unheard of to do at an airport for so long, which is what gave so many officials pause on what exactly is going on. But nonetheless, the FAA acted saying it was a special security reason, and now we've come to learn that it was a laser technology that was being tested at a nearby Army base. What three-letter agency exactly was testing this laser technology to take out errant drones that are making incursions over the Mexico-U.S. border remains to be seen. I think officials are still clamoring for those answers themselves. We heard that from Capitol Hill just a little bit ago. But we are getting some of that trickling out now that the laser technology could have been very disruptive to commercial traffic, and the FAA wanted to ensure that commercial passenger safety was, adhered to before anything else could go further.
I was reading some reporting from the AP for the past hour or so. They say that the Pentagon allowed U.S. Customs and Border Protection to use an anti-drone laser earlier this week, and that led to the FAA suddenly closing the airspace. You know what I don't quite get is the 10-day piece of this. Have we gotten any clarity on why a 10-day-long closure was called for in the first place?
I have spoken to a source that has said that the 10-day extension had to do with a meeting that the FAA was supposed to have with the Pentagon regarding the discussion about how exactly this technology would affect commercial airspace. And the meeting would have taken place next week. So what happened was the FAA wasn't sure on this technology. They didn't want to let the Pentagon go forward with this. Again, as you cited, the AP and us and others that have said that there was some testing that was going on. Exactly what day and when, possibly earlier this week, prompted the FAA to act sooner, because the CBP or Army or whomever ended up testing the technology, and it gave, again, the FAA pause. So they didn't necessarily, they wanted to bring the Pentagon to the table to have this discussion much sooner than later. But that's what the initial reason for the 10-day closure span for.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum was asked about this earlier today. She was asked about the U.S.'s drug cartel drone explanation. She said she had no information about the use of drones on the border. A U.S. official confirmed to Fox News also that the U.S. military earlier this week shot down what was later determined to be a party balloon near El Paso after initially assessing it as a possible foreign drone. Is there evidence that drones were a factor in this decision?
I think that we've heard, especially from the Pentagon, that there are roughly 1,000 drone incursions at the border on a monthly basis. Again, who's operating those drones? Nonetheless, they say that it's
So it looks like
or
we
if it
have
would
some
be like the
protests going
local,
on, which is
who was
good.
doing Blazers games back then?
So we can make
Which
fun of
channel do you
stuff
remember?
finally.
Well,
Looks
you
like
know,
they brought out
they were, on Channel 12, and that specific game, since that was like,
And there's a book.
that was like,
In case y'all don't know what a book is, it's a frog.
that was Channel 6, y'all.
So maybe like Coin 6 has archives going that far. I wonder if you could get a hold of the TV station. I bet there's like a YouTube channel that posts old clips like that someone could like get a hold of a specific channel and be like, hey, can you guys dig out these clips? How's it going?
All right. So do you host these, or are you just like filming just in case you catch a?
I
irritate the shit out of them. Basically.
I live stream 3 hours a night, 6 nights a week from down here. So between 7 and 10, any day but Monday, you can go on YouTube and see what's going on from this angle, basically.
Especially after I said basically, I wrote a letter to the editor of the Oregonian. I said, after last Saturday, I couldn't breathe right for 4 days.
Yep.
Because
a lot of people got really sick after that.
Well, the thing is, I didn't get it very bad, despite the fact that I was right here. I mean, I was expecting, pepper balls, and then if people don't move, which I didn't expect they were going
Yeah.
to, they're going to drop a, tear gas or two.
Yeah,
And
not
time to get
20
out
of
here,
them.
they fucking,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. Somebody counted and said that they counted over the 2 days 31 tear gas, 18 flashbang grenades.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little higher than that even. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
So what's your
Pretend media?
not Pete. Pretend media?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find you. There you are. Open. Sunday, civilian. Where's your lights? Where's your lights?
Welcome, everybody.
Maybe there's your lights.
Finally found something interesting to watch.
I know, it's a pain to go through everything.
Dead night, man. So finally, something is popping.
Huh.
So right now we're live streaming from the Whipple building, I'm assuming.
Woo!
So this guy's live streaming.
Slowly loading.
He says he comes out here
That's
and
not
streams,
surprising right here.
I think he said like 5 days a night, 3 hours.
Well, that's
or
the thing.
something.
I'm on T-Mobile, which is why my stream cut several times.
So I've actually tried Sprint, AT&T, and T-Mobile down here, and my best reception so far has been with a T-Mobile data-only hotspot.
Really?
Bet you
Yeah.
Verizon would work.
Hey.
But they're like super, super pricey. Now they have flags out.
I'm
It's
having
like
another
the
taco.
trans flags.
What?
Have another taco.
Have another what?
Have another taco.
Okay.
That was the name I had before.
Oh.
Trump.
Okay.
I was like, ew, bro.
That's me.
But yeah, this is what's going on right now. So hopefully something will pop out. Maybe we'll get to see Ice jump out and and they'll do their stupid music that they like to do when Ice pops out.
That was my
the
last video. Was
Stormtrooper song. I think it's based.
Because
I when they do it
down
because
here.
it's hilarious, but
yeah.
they probably don't think it's cool. They probably think that we're gonna play this because it's gonna be so uncool, But it's like, nah, it's really cool.
The
Mirabella is across the street from OHSU.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, the wind was just going straight down. What guys? The wind was just going straight down Moody.
I really want to go
know?
down there myself and
But they put out
go
so
on the
much
ground,
that
and
put
I
out
want to
so
dress
much, I'm not
in my
surprised.
garb.
Yeah.
Along with
I
like
could
maybe
manage
taking
to
this
gas
guy with
myself
me.
the second time, just failing to wash
Kind
stuff
of to
properly.
infiltrate them
No,
and just
it
mess
was
with them and
these
troll,
assholes.
but then
That is
it's like,
possible
if
too, though.
shenanigans
I've
pop
learned
off,
that.
yeah,
Oh, well, the thing
your
is,
girl
somebody
probably
gave me
ends up in jail.
instructions for how to walk.
Because
The first time I dealt with gas down here, I didn't think about it that
Left
much.
or right, I
Took
don't
my clothes
care.
off, went to put the same clothes on the next day without thinking about it, and learned that lesson. Learned that lesson quick.
Here's something that's unique.
Man, this guy's internet totally sucks. That's the one thing that I noticed about all these people on their internet out there. It just flows. And I don't know if that's something
83 Spurs versus the Lakers. Rare full game.
the government's doing on purpose to screw with them.
Rare
I mean,
NBA
it'd
footage.
be funny if that's the case. Like, I know
So
there's a
you
lot
should
of
leave
people
a
that are
comment
underground
on the
right
guy's
now, but
video.
they're
So this
looking
guy,
for other
rare
stuff
NBA footage,
to,
put up that video.
I guess,
You should
watch.
ask him if he has
So
any
they're
footage
going
from that
around looking for
83
different
game.
news
You
things.
should
They're
just
waiting for
leave a
stuff to
comment
pop
on
up
this
with
video and ask him,
Guthrie
and
chick.
maybe he'll
You have
maybe he'll
Dad
have
Gone Wild.
have it
He
and be able
drives
to put it
around
up or
looking
something.
for any breaking
Yeah,
stuff.
that was
We'll see
old Brent
what pops
Cheeseburger.
off tonight. So far, we just have these clowns out there. Nothing interesting, nothing fun. I haven't seen Ice jump out at them at all yet, but we shall see.
Alright, this is actually.
Well, that's a smart idea.
In the comments if you like.
Especially for a guy who fatigues because
Let me know where you guys are watching from.
Yeah, my videos, I am the best, worst videographer in Portland.
Best worst?
Yes. People are like, hold the phone still! I'm a blind guy who can't even see my screen while I'm filming. I don't know.
Luckily, the content's really good, so.
Oh, it's a bunch of MAGA assholes. Oh, you look so gross! I am a legally blind, insulin dependent.
Legally blind, insulin dependent. Okay.
Diabetic guy with stage 4 melanoma on chemotherapy. How do you expect me to look?
That's the easy place to go, though, you know?
Oh yeah. I used to leave all that shit.
I mean, I know people that have like different stuff going on with them, and they don't complain and like bitch and moan as much as this guy is.
Somebody said,
like, bro, take the
I think it was
tampon.
the dangerous one.
Sorry if it's too much for you guys,
If
too
you leave that
raunchy. I
stuff
apologize.
around, it's
Sometimes
somebody to say something that will
my
get
brain and my mouth don't talk. It just.
Yeah.
So I started deleting it. Now I don't get very many comments.
Nathan, yo, this
I'm
is
still
like
trying to figure out
changed
why
their-
do they have
their-
these like inflatables always out there?
You
Like,
see how
it
it's-
makes no sense to me. How like, but why?
I mean that graph.
The intro graphic.
Yeah, I like the other one better. Nathan.
Yeah.
I like the other intro better than that one, y'all. Give me the other one they used
Like,
earlier was
that
like
frog
more
makes me wanna just
more exciting, y'all.
sway with him. Damn it.
How
stupid
many
little
different
frog.
variations do you think they've gone through over the years?
Oh, yo, quite a few.
They can't all be winners, you know?
Yeah.
True.
So what do you think? Do we keep the Blazers?
Unfortunately, not
Keep the
everybody can be a
Blazers?
winner.
Sure.
Like,
the Blazers
I tell my
forever.
dude that all the time because he likes to play like the lottery, and he's always like, "Dang it, all I keep winning is a dollar." I'm like, bro, every dollar counts, man.
Boo-hoo.
But he wants to be one of those big winners, but all he wins is a dollar.
Let them have the Coliseum again.
The Coliseum.
You know, I have no interest in a sport that I can't afford tickets to. It's kind of my theory these days. If it's out of my reach, I don't care.
But that's why you try. That's why you save up and you go to these events. If you're
Yeah,
truly
that's
a fan.
fair.
Basketball, I can kind of follow, at least, which side has the ball.
Like me
But I can't tell
personally,
which one is which.
I've gone to like WWE
Hockey's
events.
fun,
My
though.
favorite person, just so y'all know, is a
Nobody can
tie.
follow that shit.
It's like a three-way tie.
I was gonna say I can't usually tell what's going on. There's just a fight occasionally to keep you interested, you know.
Well, see, everybody says football
and
is so
then
great, but it's really
I
just
also
an
love
attempt to,
Damian Priest.
like, kill the guy with the ball.
For the dudes, he's like my main.
But hockey,
I was even
more or less the same
gifted,
thing with
nice
the puck,
enough to
except
be
you're,
gifted
basically trying to make the
for
other
like
team eat the puck while you're hitting him with your
if
stick.
not for
So I
Valentine's
always
Day,
thought
Rio Ripley's
baseball
Festival,
was
which
more
is really
interesting
dope.
on the radio than on
But
TV.
yeah, I like watching that.
Like
I didn't
Baseball
really
can just
like
be described
going there
well,
because I
think.
assumed.
I
And
imagine
this is
that would
where,
be a much easier game to
even though your girl's
follow
not a
if
real
you were
blonde,
visually
okay?
impaired.
But
I know a bunch
I would
of
always say my guy jokes on you because
blind
I'm not a
baseball
real
fans.
blonde. But when I would go to these things,
Golf,
I
no one
always
can
thought it
see
was
the
gonna be
golf
like
ball whether
watching
you
it
can
on
see
TV
or
where you'll
not.
hear everything, all the announcements and stuff like that. And
Although
my
it's
guy's like,
boring no
no,
matter what, so.
you don't. You're there to visually,
Bowling.
which sucks
Hey.
because it was kind of boring. But I mean, it was fun to go. You know, it was fun to watch.
Mostly
My
what I
goal
watch
is to go
is, like,
to like maybe a WrestleMania or a
people
Royal Rumble
racing.
live. I got to go to regular house shows.
People racing what?
But yeah,
Super
that
Metroid.
and going to concerts.
Oh, you watch the
Do what you do.
classic Tetris World
I
Championships?
definitely would love to go
some of
to
that.
like
That's fun.
Ireland. I don't know why.
Those guys
It
are
just calls to me.
amazing, and they do that at least they used to back in the day at the Portland Gaming
They
Expedition.
still do.
I used to be a massive PlayStation 2 collector, but I sold off my collection a couple of years ago.
That's crazy. I don't know about him. I'm not a massive collector, but I definitely have a Nintendo. I do have a Nintendo and
And I
an
kind of
Xbox,
stopped
but
collecting
that's kind
consoles
of
at
as far
that
as I
point.
go. I think I'm more of a collector of
PS2 from
memorabilia.
PS2
So
was
as you
kind
can
of the
tell, guys,
last console
like I have this. This is a legit
where
box,
you
like hammer. Like,
where
I
you
have
get a
this,
game and
it's
you
heavy,
had it and there were no updates,
know?
with a few
I
exceptions.
also have
There were
like a
some
replica of
poker games
her
and a
costumes
couple
and
other
stuff like
ones
that.
that
And then
were
I have this
online
bad boy,
dependent, and when their
which the other
servers went
day I
down,
was
they were gone.
talking
But that was
to
like
Heavy Hook,
5
and
games out of
we
a
were
catalog
debating
of
if I should get a second one of these bad boys
thousands.
and turn it
That's why
into
that's why
Lucille.
PS2 is the last place I'm interested.
So that was another thing, and then we were talking about like
Plus,
whether
if
or
I
not I
don't
should
own
bring
it,
that bad boy
it's
with
not
me
mine.
if I were to go to be on the ground live and to go to these protests and see what pops off, you know? I think I'd probably get in trouble if I walked around with Lucille, like a legit Lucille. I think it'd be frowned upon.
These days, I'm good for about one video game a year. Something will come out, I'll play it for a month, and then I'm good till the next game comes out. Although
And
I've been waiting for GTA 6 for like
aside from
3 years
this
now, so.
minimalist,
Yep.
protest.
I will buy a PS5
we
the day
have things going on around the
the day
world.
GTA
so we
6
have,
comes
like,
out.
what's going on with SpaceX,
Or maybe a PS6.
and then we have, I think volcanoes. There's a bunch of different volcanoes starting
Friday,
to erupt.
for my work, I get
So we have that. We have the Northern Lights popping off. There's a meteor
$330.
shower.
$330 on Friday?
Hawaii.
That'll be pretty good.
So
Gonna
we
take
have
yourself out to
those
dinner
kind
or
of things
anything?
going around.
I'm not
It's
sure,
pretty
that's
boring, though. Not much happening.
Nathan, that's like $600 if that's every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys know anything that's popping off, let me know. I could definitely look it up and see what's going on.
It'd be $660.
We're trying to see if anything comes out of after the House passed the SAVE Act. It's going to go to the floor, so we're going to see
I have two
if it even gets
periods,
passed by the Senate.
at work in the
which
month,
Okay.
I highly doubt it because they keep pushing back on it.
When Nathan, I think I'm still well under the limit,
Not really any
on how much
protests going on right now. It's pretty dead in the water.
I'm only working part-time.
$1,200 a month. Yeah, I don't know what the limit is, but
I also watched
probably
to see if there's
$1,200
any
a month
tsunamis
is
or
safe.
earthquakes going
I don't know
on.
for sure.
I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place, man. Like, I watch all kinds of stuff, to entertain myself. I know the stream seems kind of boring. That's why I was kind of looking up, like, stuff
4 to 5 hours,
on X, and
3
I was
days.
looking up stuff
You're trying to stay under Social Security,
things to watch, because the lives are kind of dead in the water right now.
Is that low on the limit if you only work
Right
like
now, we only
6
have
hours
this going on
3 days?
with Pretend Media. He kind of sounds like a little lefty, so. But that's pretty much all we have going on right now.
The Atari. My first video game system was an Atari 800 XL. My
Got a 600 that's been upgraded to an 800.
Oh,
Small.
the 800 XL was supposed to be the computer that would never need upgrading. Because
that didn't work.
you could go from 6 to 12 megs of RAM or something.
That information up.
The thing is, you can
Did you guys see that the thing with Bad Bunny where people are posting old vids of his where his auto-tune conked out and his voice is not very good. And then I think they were also stripping the background like tracks so you can hear him sing. Like I don't know. I feel bad for him because the backlash is huge, and I kind of feel sorry for him. You know, sometimes. Sometimes I just think it's hilarious, and I'm like, you know what? That's what you get. It's that whole thing with John Wick where there's like consequence.
1690. You stay under 1690, you're good.
So
But yeah,
like,
too much going on tonight.
600, like that's.
I think stuff will probably pop off more on the weekend, possibly. So we'll definitely be going live this whole weekend and see what goes on. I know stuff will start kicking off more once the midterms come into play. This guy's internet sucks. I feel so bad for this man. But yeah, we'll see how it goes with the midterms. Thinking of some little stuff that we can probably put on our walls, maybe like bingo cards, or you have like an Alex Jones was right jar. So we'll see what pops off. It's pretty boring night.
The issue is
hold on, the stream's gonna go down again for a second.
Yes, it is, because it sucks.
1,690. That's what gets you. If you're if you've got 3 pay periods in a month, and sometimes happen, if you get paid every 2 weeks, that'll get 2 weeks. But otherwise you're fine.
Yeah. So are the pay periods?
Okay, I just went back onto my Wi-Fi, onto my hotspot. Let me know if you have any issues with the stream.
Ooh, I found it interesting though. I want to watch this because I would love to get one of these, like for real, for real. Check this out, guys. So this is a 19-year-old college student builds a real-life Iron Man suit. How dope.
She didn't order it online. She didn't buy a costume. She built this. 19-year-old Ellie Farrell is a mechanical engineering student in Dublin, Ireland, and the mind behind this real-life Iron Man suit that actually works.
I kind of was just like, I want an Iron Man suit, I'm just gonna do it. Like, I might as well.
Inspired by Marvel's Tony Stark, Farrell designed and assembled the suit piece by piece.
I just saw someone else doing it online and I saved up my own money. I got a really crappy 3D printer and I built it up myself.
Complete
Dude, that's
with
so
hand
dope.
blasters, lasers, and Tony Stark's signature glowing arc reactor.
I think superheroes can be realistic, and bringing it to life is what really entertains me and makes this more real.
Currently a second-year college student, Ellie Farrell says she learned her skills before she even entered the classroom.
COVID hit when I was 14, so I had like nothing to do for the entirety of COVID, so 2 years just like building stuff straight.
Every piece required testing, tweaking, and patience to turn trial and error into a working design.
It's quite simple. There's just like geared motors in the head. There's a microcontroller that has like some code written in it and a button in the chin. So if I move my chin forward, it moves up, move it back, it moves back down. And the lights are programmed to turn on at the same time. And then there's like separate boards in the arm for the lasers that opens up and out.
Tony Stark isn't the only superhero who's inspired her. And now, with a combined following of over 700,000 followers across social media, many of her videos on TikTok garner over 10 million views. And in a field where women are still underrepresented, her work is showing young girls that engineering is not off limits or out of reach.
So instead of just seeing out the eyes, I have an actual heads-up display. I've always wanted to be someone that I would have wanted to look up to and be like, wow, they did that, like, I could do that too.
Farrell says she hopes her work encourages more women to take up space in workshops, labs, and classrooms.
But today I'm going to show you how to make one. I grew up with 4 brothers and no sisters, so I've always just been one of them. Like, I've never really viewed myself as much different. So it's always just been you can do it too. What's stopping you? It's just the societal side of things. You can literally do whatever they're doing and just as well. It's gonna be even cooler than this right now.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories.
That was really dope. And I don't like that, they're always trying to gear everything towards like, having this gender crap, They're always like, oh, we need more women in this field. Oh, we need more, girl power or minorities. It's like, no, you need the best of the best with honors to be in these fields. Whether you're male or female, whether you're brown, white, purple, it doesn't matter. Like, I think if you're talented like that, more power to you. That just seems so dope to be able to create that. That is something I would love to create.
He's been doing that for a long
Is
time.
an Iron Man suit. How dope would that be to have a real life one where it actually
His whole life.
His whole life has been financial.
Yeah, he's committed fraud his entire life and screwed the U.S. government his entire life.
See, at this point, what I want to see is an investigation of just follow the money where it goes for all of the Republicans in Congress, some of the Democrats, and RICO the ever-living fuck out of them.
Yeah.
I think we should
tell me
do
I
that
have two
for
gloves
all.
in here?
Everybody that wants to be in government should have. We should have, like, if you're going to be in government, I think you should have a crazy audit done on you to find out exactly where all your money is coming and going. And I think it should be open for everybody to see so that we can keep people honest. Like, to be honest, Because how is it that you make like 120 or 150,000 a year, and within like a year or two, you're like a multi-millionaire making
not
$8 million?
infrequently.
That's like,
And
are you
it
kidding?
really sucks if it
That
happens in the
shows
middle of a live stream
shenanigans.
because you don't get notified. You just start seeing your viewers dropping and dropping and dropping.
They won't
Yeah.
advertise you anymore.
Yeah, all of a sudden they won't, you have to be signed in and 18 plus to like get in the thing. So yeah. And they don't usually tell you you've been hit with 18 plus until like an hour after they do it.
The thing for me is I will upload a video, and after I've uploaded the video, it can take a day before I can even see it on anything but my phone, and it just hasn't processed.
Yeah.
So this is why I don't want to stream from my phone at all.
Yeah, it's one of the trade-offs.
I thought they fixed that shit, or was supposed to fix it, but I don't think they're going to.
Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not. It just seems luck of the draw,
There might also be the fact that I'm using an old YouTube app because revamped.
Oh, it could have something to do with it.
Maybe water.
One left. When do you want it? All right. Thank you.
Oh, you're all good.
I'm gonna go to this video.
That's not bad.
While we wait for any shenanigans to kick off. This is from LV Nation, also known as Lou. He was someone I followed since the beginning, when he was just Lou Valentino. I was one of like maybe 5 of his first like subscribers. Definitely would shout him out a lot, telling him like what he should do, what he should stream and stuff like that. He was so good, and he just blew up, which I knew he would because this dude is fantastic and he's so good. Which is what I learned from about him, was that he took everything everybody gave him advice, whether it was positive or negative. Anytime you would give him like feedback or tell him like, oh, look at this stream or that streamer, or look at this video or that video, he was so good about it. And so I could see why he blew up, But we're gonna go ahead and watch this video that he has going on called Holy Mackerel, Trump just triggered the collapse of the IRS. Let's hope that happens.
Emergency video, because not only is it tax season, guys, but we just got big news coming directly out of the IRS, and Joni Ernst, who is a senator, basically exposed that there's actually IRS employees that owe about $50 million in unpaid taxes. I mean, this has got to be one of the wildest stories here in the United States of America, where many, and I told you guys, many have declared war on the IRS because of the fact that a lot of the money has gone to fraud. Remember what happened in Minnesota, and now what they're now uncovering in California. Now, this is not a video of me telling you not to pay taxes or the taxes are not going to be taken out of your paychecks. That's not me telling you that at all. But I want to make you, aware of what's actually going on with the public sentiment of how people are tired. Many are tired. The middle class is disappearing here in the United States of America, and there's so much going on. I mean, we even had people like Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, speaking about property taxes is a scam. So the actual conversations are actually happening. But first, let's talk about Joni Ernst. Let's talk about what she found out from the IRS. And this is coming directly from Fox Business, a financial news channel coming out of Fox. And here it is. I want you guys to take a look at this, right? Should the IRS be shut down? We know that the IRS now, there's employees that owe about $50 million in unpaid taxes. Many people are calling to stop paying taxes. Take a listen to this.
We didn't need that. We only needed it for when we went to war, so that's why we built it. But I think
Over
we should just get rid of
100,000
it.
federal workers are not paying their taxes. In 2021, the IRS found that almost 150,000 federal workers owe about $1.5 billion in unpaid taxes. Over 5,000 of them work at the IRS and owe $50 million in overdue taxes. Even though the IRS can fire its workers that are not paying their taxes, only 20 people have been terminated. That double standard is something Senator Joni Ernst, Senate Doge Caucus chair, wants to stop. She's introducing several bills aimed at cleaning up the IRS. One bill would require IRS employees to be audited every year and fired if they don't pay their taxes. But while the IRS is not catching the tax cheats on their own payroll, they are busy arming their workforce. Ernst is also calling out 10 million taxpayer dollars the IRS has spent on guns and ammo, stockpiling 4,500 guns, 5 million rounds of ammo, even 15 machine guns.
I mean, look, oh my goodness. I mean, this is what they're doing. So the employees of the IRS are actually not paying their taxes, but they are spending money on guns and ammo to come and get your money. Not only is the dollar and monetary system a big, huge pyramid scheme. I've been explaining this now for about the last 4 months on my channel, talking to you guys about what has happened with the Federal Reserve and when we went off the gold standard and the debt. I mean, have we looked at the debt that we're in? We are $38 trillion in debt, and we are operating in a trade deficit because of the fact that we are the world's reserve currency. But that is more of a global problem, right? We have a huge global monetary issue that now affects us internally. And because it affects us internally, we have to deal with it internally. Because you guys know there was a revolution that was fought, right? Remember this, the income tax has been deemed unconstitutional. There is no more income tax in the United States, and I quote from this video I'm about to show you, right? Until the Civil War. So let me actually play this video because I think it's very important that we listen to the income tax in the United States of America and, how people actually feel about this, because we're finding this out. Also, we got to talk about, and make sure to smash the like button if you made it all the way this far, because I know some of you guys really don't like smashing the like button, but I would truly, truly appreciate that. But we need to talk about Trump's lawsuit against the IRS. But before that, let's get into this one.
There's no income tax in America until the Civil War. An emergency one Lincoln pushed. After the Civil War, it's repealed. 1892, they try to have a peacetime income tax declared unconstitutional. Woodrow Wilson pushes through the income tax, the 16th Amendment in 1913. It's a 1% tax on the top 1% richest people in the country. It's not to tax the people, it's to go after those robber barons. Rockefellers, Carnegies, J. Paul Getty's, the Astors. It would be sort of like today that only Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and George Soros, that's what the tax is for. And so you had Taft pushing through a corporate income tax. And only the extreme wealthy own corporate stock. So it was a backdoor way to get at them. Teddy Roosevelt was responsible for inheritance tax because only the extreme wealthy had an inheritance worth leaving. But finally, Woodrow Wilson pushes through the income tax, which is the 1% tax on the top 1% richest people. There's no
Yeah, so again, when we talk about taxes, when we talk about the history of taxes, I mean, there's so many videos I can play for you guys. There's so many things I can tell you about this. But I think Trump has, triggered the collapse of the IRS and the morality behind the IRS. I mean, many things are being found, and especially because of the fact that, the president of the United States of America has sued. He sued, right? So here we go. So President Trump sued the U.S. Treasury and the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, for at least $10 billion over the unauthorized disclosure of his tax returns during his first term in office, right? So this was something that happened
in general,
and he definitely did
and
sue the IRS.
Do it
So
back
now
to
that
the
you
way
guys
it originally
know
was, which
that
was just
Trump
if they're
has now
for,
sued
like,
the
Democrats
IRS
are
for
so
$10
for
billion,
taxing
and
the
we'll
rich,
get
then
updates
let's
on
do
how
it.
that goes
Let's
for leaking
tax the
his
ultra
his
rich,
tax
like the way it originally
returns
was
when
supposed to be,
the
which was the
Democrats wanted
1%.
to.
Let's
The
do it.
Democrats basically weaponize the IRS.
This way,
Very
all of us
easy to
don't have to
weaponize
pay.
these things when you are in office, I guess. And so now I want to get to the conversation
taxes
about
be
property
cray.
taxes because, again,
Like,
tax without
when I
representation
work,
is absolute
my
theft.
paycheck, they take about a
And when you look
good,
around
like,
in the country and
$700,
you look around
$800 in
how,
taxes.
again,
It's
these
like,
politicians try to use taxes
like,
and
what
try
the
to use
hell?
taxpayer money, you start to become less patriotic
I don't know
about
about you guys,
taxes.
but I'm
Because
not
don't get
to
me
abolish
wrong, as much as I pay taxes, I think we all pay taxes to an extent where we look down, especially me living in New York City, I'll look down and say, man, that's a lot of money. I hope this money is going to somewhere good, a good cause. But when you look around, you see all the fraud, you see all the illegal things that have happened in our government throughout for decades and in our streets, and with what happened in Minnesota and California, you start to realize that it's all just a big scam. And when you learn about the dollar and when you learn about the Federal Reserve, it just seems like we're just living in a big pyramid scheme. And so I want to get to this, right? So Governor Ron DeSantis says that he will allow Florida voters to vote to abolish property taxes. Do it everywhere. And so, this is something that he's been bringing up, and I don't know why everybody else doesn't do it, right? I don't know why everybody else doesn't do it. I think, give me 1 second. I think that I just figured it out. Nope, it's actually never happened. Unfortunately, it's never happened, man. There are states that have abolished the income tax, but there is no states that have completely abolished property taxes as of early 2026. So, as they are crucial for funding local services. However, several states, including Florida, Texas, and North Dakota, are actively pushing for significant reductions or eliminations of homeowner property taxes, with Florida considering eliminating non-school property taxes by 2027. So this is something that's ongoing. I know a lot of Republicans are definitely pushing for it, but let's actually take a listen to Ron DeSantis talk about this.
Help with property tax, but it's not something I can just ask the legislature, hey, cut the millage, do this, do that, because they don't have constitutional authority to do the local taxes. That is your counties and your cities. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a question on the ballot that is going to allow Floridians to be able to vote themselves relief from property tax. And as I said, my vision is, if you own your home, to truly own it, you have to own it free and clear of the government. You shouldn't have to pay rent to the government. And, there'll be people that are, buying investment properties, fine, that's different. There's differences, but your personal home, we really believe should not be subject to tax. It's an unrealized gain. And I'm just one that's if you tax me at point of sale, like I buy a car and I pay a sales tax on it, But like for me to then just, pay a tax on the value every now, cars usually when you drive them off the lot go down. Now during COVID, the cars actually went up in value. You'd buy a car, there was such a shortage that you could drive it off the lot and then you could even flip it for $5,000-$10,000 profit because there was such a rush to buy vehicles. But that's our vision. So. And of course, so what do people say? Oh, that can't be done. You can't do that. And my question is why can't it be done? Look, the first place we went to with these audits was Broward County, Florida. They got 1.9 million people. They've had no net population growth over the last 5 years. Their budgets increased 60%.
So there you go. There is a huge update, from Ron DeSantis, who is actively talking about, a lot of people don't really own their homes in the United States of America. They just don't, because pretty much this all belongs to the government. So, that's a very fair point. I want to play this last video here from Elon Musk about, you get taxed on what you earn, you get taxed on what you buy, you get taxed on what you own. Taxes, taxes, taxes. So this conversation, again, has been ongoing ever since Trump got elected. Trump's Secretary of Commerce, I think he also came out and spoke at some point and said that Trump's biggest goal, one of his biggest accomplishments would be to get rid of the income tax. So that would be historic in my opinion. But let's actually listen to Elon Musk talk about this.
You get taxed on what you own, you get taxed on what you buy, and you get taxed on what you own. Taxes, taxes, taxes. And then what does it get spent on? A bunch of the stuff it gets spent on you don't even agree with. So that's why we need to reduce the size of government and just spend less money and let the people keep a lot more of their hard-earned money. Yeah. So
unfortunately, that's just not the way things go here in the United States. It's very unfortunate because at some point, the United States of America being a young country going on 250 years, learning about taxes, learning about the history of taxes does make you wonder, where are we headed? Many people hate socialism and communism, but look around, the government can kind of come at whatever point and really just confiscate whatever you own because it's their land. Is that how this works? Complete freedom? You have IRS agents literally freaking arming themselves to come after your money when they can just print so much money. That's a solution usually to all their problems. They print. That's why people find a way to invest in assets to beat not only inflation, but to beat the system. People, the invention of Bitcoin and other assets, where the government can't confiscate you because your keys are private and your money lives offline. I mean, there's a lot of solutions to these problems that a lot of people have, come to. So again, that is my update about Trump suing the IRS. People literally, ever since the fraud was uncovered and the billions of dollars were uncovered, the fake daycare centers were uncovered, people literally said, I'm not going to pay taxes. Now, I'm not saying that you should. I'm not even going to say that you shouldn't. I will ill-advise against that because these people are coming. But it's a very interesting conversation. And again, going into, a year plus since Trump has been inaugurated, a year and like 1 month, what does the future hold for the IRS, especially after finding all this stuff out?
Yeah, so we have that from him. Let's see if anything's
trying to start
over here. But that's what we have from Lou in regards to what's going
having
on
a discussion, simple
IRS.
discussion about
Here's hoping that they actually
they're trying to provoke
cancel
a confrontation,
Yeah, and that comes back to trying to get views and make money, filming themselves doing it.
In the broader light, that makes them look pretty stupid,
I think so. I would definitely watch a Richard blog, that's for sure. I don't think he has any idea how well he would actually do if he decided to do that one day. There's good money in stupid. Unfortunately, that's true, Tim. Everyone loves Richard. Richard could be a thousandaire by now. I mean, that's the thing. He has an iPhone, like, a $20 tripod, and he could set something up if he wanted to. Hell, I'd give him a tripod. Hey, back, Guano. Richard was having a hard time earlier tonight when Yellow Hat came up. He was like cursing at her under his breath. Like, it's like, go away. Go away. Shut up. She was taking his spotlight away.
Sorry guys, I didn't realize I was muted. But yeah, that's what Lou was saying. Here's hoping that IRS gets abolished. It looks like this guy's video finally cleared up, which is good, because, man, it sucked with his lag.
Who's that bog?
Podcasting?
Yeah, yep. Every night from 7 to 10, except for Monday, I'm down here and I live stream this, so.
Get a taste of the pulse. Get a pulse on the whole thing.
Yeah. A lot of people that come down here pop in and, you know, see what's going on down here before they show up, and,
Yeah, actually, this is my first time here. I thought there would be a lot more going on, but no.
At weeknights, it's often like this. On the weekends, it gets a lot busier. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When the weather warms up, I imagine there'll be a lot more people down here. But Portland in the winter, you know, it's a hard sell to get people out after dark.
So, right now, there's not much going on. So, I guess my work here is done, and, you know, I think we can call it a night. I want to thank you all. You know, I want to send a shout out to all my fans, my heathens that are out there that decided to hang out with me in the stream tonight. Much love and appreciation to you guys for hanging out with me. I'm hoping tomorrow will be a lot better than it is today, but, you know, who knows? We'll find out, you know, if anything else pops off any sooner. But I want to thank you guys all for hanging out with me tonight. If you missed any of today's chaos, go back and catch up on the latest uploads. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you are ready for tomorrow's chaos. So I'll see you guys on the next one.
Time's up, my little heathens. Harley's gotta cause more trouble. Thanks for the chaos.